Welcome to Music and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis. Really excited to be joined by my co-host, Kathleen Bradley. Hey, young lady, how are you doing?
Hi, Moshe. I am doing pretty good. Been working a lot, thank goodness.
Yes.
Just happy to be here again, and we have a great show lined up. You know, modeling and acting, it's not that easy to do.
I think people take it for granted.
They do. And, you know, beautiful people in this world. We're going to find out from this young lady how it's all working for her.
I think she's been a success story, as have you.
Yes, she has. And I know this young lady.
Sure.
I'm excited to interview her today.
Yes, absolutely. It's always fun when it's like friends, feel like family a little
Yep,
bit.
absolutely.
Just a quick little teaser. Shireen Crutchfield, you are just amazing in this transformation. If I'm not mistaken, dancing first with Soul Train and then into singing with Good Girls. We still remember. I know you do.
Good Girls,
Yeah?
yes.
So your sweetness is my weakness. Movies then, like Jamie Foxx show, Hot Boys in terms of film, also some of the school types of movies and whatnot. Oh man. And then last but not least, like she was saying, modeling as well, theater.
Exactly.
Oh man, the whole package.
Yes. So how did you get started in the business?
Well, I'm living in Los Angeles, as you know. Entertainment is all around us. So, as you said, I started on Soul Train. I was a dancer with my friends just in, high school, having fun. We got invited to Soul Train, and then I met some celebrities and things like that. Heard some more about the music industry, and we decided to start a singing group. We had a manager named Jonathan Clark, and he saw some potential in us, and we got signed to Motown, did a tour, No More Games tour with New Kids on the Block, and just went all over the world. And in my family, modeling runs in my family. My mother and my aunt were doing it. So I was like, we had a little bit of downtime before our second album was released. So I was like, let me just go see. I'm interested in it. Went to a modeling agency called Elite here in Los Angeles, and
know them.
and they signed me. And the first job I did was the cover of 17 magazine with Will Smith. So,
I wish you would have brought. Well, we're gonna have to show that in. We're gonna put that in there.
Everybody's been here. It's been 17.
Right, with Will Smith on the cover?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen it. Now, how many young ladies were in the singing group with you?
There were
4?
3 of us.
3, oh, okay. Don't know why I thought there was. So you guys had a couple of hits and everything and did the whole gamut. And I remember when you were involved with that group and have seen you on several occasions and run into you, and just, we know a lot of people in common.
We do.
And just, like, once again, I'm really so happy that you're here today and to see you looking so beautiful. And you've got a family, you've had a great career, and so much more to go. So what are your aspirations, basically? What are you going to do in terms of next things coming up?
I'm working on a film right now. It's called Rush, so I'm shooting that. I'm going to be in a play called When Colored Girls Consider Suicide.
Right.
And the rainbow is enough.
Right.
4 colored girls who consider suicide.
Colored Girls, that's right. That is a classic, girl. Good for you. They keep remaking that and redoing it, but it's so classic, just like a lot of other plays. The Oz, how many times you do The Wizard of Oz?
So many versions.
And so many different versions. When is that going to take place?
That's going to come out September. Late
Where will it be seen here? Are you going to be traveling with it? Are you going to do local?
It'll just be here.
Oh, in Los Angeles.
I'll be posting information on that when it gets closer to it. And I also have a children's book. My second children's book is
I didn't know that.
Finished.
Oh,
it's
God.
Put in publication.
So tell us about the first children's book.
The first children's book is called Topper Lost His Hopper. Now, it's about a frog who thinks he's the best hopper in the whole pond, but he's actually not. And so things happen with his friends. He gets a little bit bullied, and the story has a very nice, surprising ending.
How long has that book been out?
That book has been out it's been a year. I think it's been a year. Yeah. And it started because my children and I have 3 kids, and we have a very elaborate routine when we go to sleep. So we'll do our prayer, and then it changes what we do. But this particular season of our bedtime routine, we were telling each other stories. And so they would tell a story. I would tell a story. And one of them was about this frog who could not hop. And it just came together, and you'll have to get the book.
Okay.
Right.
Top
And they
of
made
the
it up.
silver.
Right. They made it up. It's all original.
Yeah, brought a copy.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to
We'll slice it in. Right.
Yeah.
Make
Slice
sure.
it in.
Make
We're gonna
a note to self.
slicing all the wonderful things you've done because you're so beautiful and
Thank you.
talented too.
Thank you.
So happy for you.
Yeah. So the story came about from telling my children, just making it up. And I was like, this is really good. I'm going to write this down. And I did and finished it.
So when you wrote the book, because I've written a book too, and I know it can be very difficult. Just writing the book is one thing, and getting it published, or have someone help you with it is another story. What was your feeling or thoughts, or how did you get it published? What did you do?
Self-published.
You self-published,
Yeah.
right? Me
Through
too.
Amazon. Easy breezy.
And then just put it on Amazon and all the bookstores and everything. So in terms of promotion too, that is something that's very key in this business, because I know when I self-published my book, it was more than a notion, and getting it out there. And, you know, of course with kids' book, you can and cannot do a book tour. I see a lot of people on the morning shows and talk shows.
Promoting.
They get out there and they're promoting their books and everything. So have you run that gamut or had anybody help you to really promote it?
I'm still working on the promotion part. Right now, since books can live forever, I just want to get it out there. And then when I master the promotion part, then.
Yes, and especially if you have a track record and if you sell it, you know what I'm saying, online, if it shows that you sold so many of them and different things and it's worthy and people want to get on board, then of course.
Right.
Absolutely. So Topper is going to be a whole series. I've got number 2 in the can.
Is that same, is it a spin-off from Topper, or is it totally different?
It's still the character, Topper the Frog.
Okay.
And this is his next adventure. And then we'll have another
There you
adventure.
go.
Right.
That's good.
Maybe a movie series in the making or a cartoon series.
Could be.
That's right. I'm inspired now because I'm going to do a children's book.
You should.
Yeah, writing is very interesting, and especially depending on what you're writing about. And I talk to young people a lot and just inspire them to tell your story.
Absolutely.
Everyone has a story for a memoir.
And then stories
or
within
something.
themselves.
That's
Yes,
You know?
absolutely.
And the crazy thing I found is that Topper the Frog is actually me. So everything I write is actually me. So I do writing for TV and movies as well, and I put myself in it, and these characters blossom and the stories blossom. But it's so very personal, all of the stories and writing, which I really
And
enjoy.
probably allows you to also develop that sense of introspection about maybe things you've been through or that the frog is going through.
Yeah, it's really amazing because I didn't realize. And I was speaking with someone about the book, and the Topper does this and that, and I was like, oh my God.
It's sounding familiar.
Yeah, that's me.
Diary 7 years ago.
Exactly.
Page 46. So going back a little bit to go forward, though, we have to tease some of these things out because while you are very colorful in covering quite a gambit of things, teasing them out and how they happen. So if I remember, you were about 14 by the time you were on Soul Train, which is a very young age. How did that come about?
I was
She was only dancing. It was totally clean, right?
Well, the choreographer of Soul Train went to one of our high school parties and he saw my group. I was in a dance group called the Ladies Legit. He saw us dancing and he invited us on. And, you know, I knew we were in high school and wasn't going to pass up the opportunity. So
Who was hosting the show during your period of time that you were on?
Don Cornelius.
Oh, he was?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what were your sense and just impressions? Because, you know, now we only have sort of the footage to look at.
I know. It's so classic, though. It's so wonderful. I'm
is.
so pleased that it's just lived beyond its airtime. It's amazing. So it was a lot of fun.
How many years did you dance on there?
I would say probably maybe 2 or 3, not very long. But then I started the group when we were in the singing group. Then we came back on and performed, and Don Cornelius interviewed us on stage. And so that was like a full circle moment. That was like fun. Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of the Soul Train dancers back in the day. That were a little bit before your day. So I was surprised that, you know, Don was still doing it because they've had a host of different other hosts during the period of time. Yeah. But they have the TV show on called I Was a Soul Train Dancer. Right. I mean, it's not a TV show. It's like a snippets
series.
The dancers of everybody is so unique. Right. And they just go on, they do like a 5-minute thing and talk about, yes, I was so, have you seen it?
Oh,
you need to do that.
Yeah.
Have them do that for you. When make some phone calls.
Yes.
Oh, a shameless promotion. Let's not let it stop. Okay, but it's still a big jump from dancing on a show like that to actually securing a manager that then sort of signs the group. And just talk to us about being able to meet that person and how that relationship evolved. Because like you said, I think technically you're about 18 when you signed the contract, but you all were talking before then.
So you want to know about
just that.
How we secured management?
Yeah. How'd you do that? Like, how did you jump from being on Soul Train, essentially as a dancer, to we're a signed group at Motown, nonetheless?
Right. So another member of so it was Shireen, myself, Joyce, and DeMonica. DeMonica met a man named Jonathan Clark who was managing other artists. And I was like, go talk to him and see, about the three of us.
Right.
She's like, okay. So she did. And he was like, okay, well, just bring him by. We came by his house and he was like, okay, I've got the concept already and you guys fit perfectly. Let's do this. And it was a beautiful marriage while it lasted. Yeah.
Very fortunate. So many times it's so difficult in the business and so competitive to be able to even launch or get yourself out there in the forefront. And, the timing for you seemed like it was just wonderful. Like you said, great marriage at that time.
Right. It was perfect. And of course, things have changed so much during the decades that have passed. So, but back then, he was our manager and he had a relationship at Motown Records. We went to Motown. Gerald Busby signed us.
And then just teasing some of that out of just, if I'm not mistaken, you guys sort of almost had a New Jack Swing kind of sound. Did you actually get to work with Teddy Riley or was there someone sort of following in that vein that kind of helped develop that sound?
Our music was mostly done by two producers, which is Kyle Hudnall and L.A.J., John Barnes III. So they did most of our 2 albums.
Right.
And it was a bit of New Jack Swing in there as well.
And then it seemed like when it came to the second album that they just didn't really put in the level of promotion. There's still some really good songs on there. It's actually on some of your comments, believe it or not, of your current videos. Someone wrote in, they didn't say who they were, but they said they'd worked as a producer, but they really felt bad that the level of promotion wasn't where it needed to be. And I think that's maybe some of what led to the separation. Was it just them sort of moving, essentially taking your manager away or your manager leaving the picture?
Well, you know what? I was really young at the time. So I was definitely 18 when we signed. So maybe like 19 or 20. So I wasn't privy to what was actually going on in the business, but there were a lot of things behind the camera going on that led to the breakup of our group. So I do believe that the promotion was lacking for whatever reason. I don't know why. And different things were going on, little whispers here and there that I will not mention, but,
that happens, especially when you're so young. I was with a group as well, being very young, 18, 19, traveling, and you have your manager and your people, and you trust in them. And, that still happens with a lot of young artists now, because it's so important to kind of try to learn the business. But, of course, if you're happy to be in it, you're relying on this person to take care and take charge of everything.
Exactly.
You're signing things, you don't even know what you're signing sometimes. You get in the sling of so many people have given their rights away and royalties and all this kind of thing in the business. So it can be a little tough going, and you do have to have someone at least that you can rely on.
So we were doing our part. We were singing and dancing and showing up and with the interviews, performing. Right. And the business side was doing whatever it was doing in bingo bango.
Right, sure.
That happens.
That happens.
But I think the positive piece is and the blessing is sort of seeing you all being able, especially you, literally walk away from that unscathed, no bad words. I mean, it's already, well known in the press of concerns that MCA was sort of really undermining some of the process for secondary things that ultimately didn't work out. But talk to us about that transition right into modeling and essentially onto 17 within, it seemed like, less than a year.
Yeah, well, the second album, as I said, was being delayed, and I was getting this pulling in this modeling direction. So I thought, let me just go see.
Let's take a look.
So I went, and thankfully it worked out. So I just started working there. And sometimes you have something that's wonderful and things are going on at the same time. You can't micromanage, and there wasn't anything that I could particularly do about it. I I'm there, I'm showing up, I'm singing, I'm performing, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but there are other factors at work. So let me go keep my eyes moving forward. Yeah. This is still here, but I'm moving forward. And if you're going to come, let's go together. But, you know, it didn't end up moving forward. So I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I got to make the life that I want for myself. So I did that. I got into modeling. From modeling, easy jump to commercials. You can speak on camera. Great. Do this commercial. Yeah, I can talk. And acting too. Right. So I think my first big job was Seinfeld. I auditioned for Jerry Seinfeld and he was like, okay. I was like, yeah, thank you. Got the job and just kept moving. Moving forward, yeah.
But we have to take a pregnant pause there because that's not a minor thing. So it's still a big jump, to say the least, to acting. The scene is now, at least in Seinfeld folklore, it's become classic, where you're like, oh, Paris was a bore. Just talk to us about going to that audition process and then working. I mean, the whole cast is, you know, they're all household names. Jason Alexander, I think, is primarily in that scene.
Yes, he was. So yeah, I did the modeling agency, got a call for, you know, we need model-looking women who can speak. And so I was like, I can do that. So I went to my first audition with the casting director. They were like, okay, good. We're going to have you come back in an hour to read with the producers. And Jerry Seinfeld happened to be there. So I did my scene, and he was very complimentary with his words, and I appreciated that because that gave me some confidence. And as you said, I worked with Jason Alexander, and it was fun. It was, you know, something new and different. And you know, Seinfeld is a classic. I actually did a podcast that is specifically for Seinfeld and who were on the the show. So so that was very interesting. That was recent too. Oh my God, they have a whole podcast.
Find that, yeah. I know once we start doing this show, people open up, and we're so glad to be able to talk about things we don't really remember that spark something that is really just so engaging. Because, you know, as also having been a model, and what you're saying, jumping in from modeling to acting, right, at a certain point was kind of frowned upon because she's just a model. You can't act. And a lot of times, like, she can't. Why am I going to put her in my movie for what? Because she's pretty. She's a model. She can't act. And I know you probably ran across that kind of scenario from time to time when people wanted to put you in certain things.
Yeah, from time to time.
There's a little hurdle to jump over and do it, but you've done it.
Yeah, we just do our auditions, do our best, and, you know.
Now it's not so bad. Everything's kind of going hand in hand right now.
Right.
Modeling, acting, TV. We do it all. We do it all.
You have to be able to.
That you must be able to absolutely do it all.
On that note, do you feel like you've tried to take certain roles and things like that really establish your spread and your range? Do you feel like, oh, I really want to book that because that'll show that it's not just my humorous side?
Well, there are just so many roles available, like, throughout the years. It's like, this is a great role. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And you just got to keep moving forward, keep moving on. And, you know, there's something that, I really want to get this role. If you don't get it, guess what? There's going to be another great role that's coming up too. So I always just keep moving forward, and so many different things, you know. I've got to be in an explosion before. That was fun. I've killed a couple of times. You know, I'm in the thing Rush that I'm doing right now. That's a horror film, and thankfully I live in the end, so that's good.
Okay.
But, you know, it's nice to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and, you know, I've done a period piece that's going to be coming out a little bit later called Fire, and just, it's fun. It's fun to play around.
That's the film Fire?
Fire is actually going to be a series.
Oh, it's a series?
Yeah, so that's
now, are you a regular on the series?
I am the lead character in that.
Now, what station or where can we find
They're
it?
still doing post-production, so I don't know where that's going to land, but it was fun.
Have to remember that one.
Right. Talk to us about Hot Boys, because that was one of your big roles.
Hot Boys, that was so much fun. So thankfully, Silk the Shocker had a crush on me, so it was easy to get the role. And he was really cool to work with, and Master P and everybody. It was a lot of fun. That was a long time ago, but that was fun too. You know, I get different role. I get So I get the police take me away and they beat me to death.
No.
Oh, that's terrible.
They did.
Gosh. Oh gosh, and we're talking about it in this climate. Yeah, but that's what happened in the movie. It's a feel-good movie.
If that somehow would make that type of transition.
No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Yeah, but so yeah, it was a lot of fun making.
And then House Party 3.
House Party 3. That was actually my first film. That was my first film. And that was cool. You know, just get my feet wet a little bit. So each project that I do, there's something special about it. And I learn something different, grow from it. And I love Hot Boys because people still come up to me today. Are you Lashana? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. You know, it's like depending on people's age, I know.
Right.
Like if they're a certain age, okay, you know me from the Good Girls. Or if they're another age, you know me from Hot Boys. So
it's nice to be known, though, isn't it? One way or the other. It feels good when people recognize you.
Yeah.
And you've worked so hard doing so many different things.
Yeah.
And, you know, just to get your accolades and just be recognized at the grocery store outside. They remember you.
I'm growing.
You made a mark.
Yeah.
So far, so good. And more to come.
Yes, thank you.
And on that, talk to us about sort of this transformation, because we see, and you mentioned it earlier, you're writing now, you're producing, you're still doing some music. Talk to us sort of about how, despite the fact it sounds like you work 24/7, how you juggle sort of those three and still stay, you know, healthy, fit.
I just go day by day. I pray a lot. I am God has brought me through some really difficult times. I'm blessed to be here. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. A lot of gratitude. And I just go day by day. I've got 3 beautiful children that I'm raising still. And, you know, you just got to balance it. You just got to figure it out. I've got to take time for myself and do fun things. The kids have to be taken care of. I've got to work because I got to pay the bills. So it's a lot of managing, a lot of juggling. And thankfully, I think the best thing to do is just go day by day, have what I need to do written down so I can be aware of it. But what is today? What do I need to do today? Let me not stress about tomorrow because tomorrow's going to come and then I can do that tomorrow if I so choose. But I choose not to stress.
That's right.
Because stress sucks.
Smart girl. That is the way to do it. I've learned that too in my latter age and time. I wish I was more like you at my age when I was stressing out too much. But it is day by day.
Yes.
And to write things down and just work on the one thing at one time.
That's it.
You know, you can kind of micromanage things a little bit, but just stress is terrible. It's a killer. It will kill you. That's
And so, ladies who want to know, I'm sure the fellas will be curious. Talk to us about like your exercise, because I know you still, you know, work out. What's your little routine, your little secrets?
Gosh.
Something you love to do.
I think I'm just blessed. I do need to work out. I was stressing this morning going, you need to do your squats. You need to do your sit-ups. You need to do your push-ups. So I do need to incorporate that more. My discipline is not real good in that area. I do eat pretty healthy. I will say that. I don't eat a lot of sugar or junk food. I'm not a soda person. So, I mean, at least I'm doing that. And I will start incorporating, you know, exercise. And I used to do capoeira, which is Brazilian martial arts. And that was fun. Yeah, that was fun for a while. Like my schedule changed, so I wasn't able to still do that with the children. So I just get it in where I can, you know. Oh, we did paddling this weekend. You know, you get in the boats and you're doing this. Yeah, that was fun.
To do that
in Long Beach, they have a canoe.
Say.
Yeah, kayaking is what it's called.
Kayaking,
So I did that with my kids.
All right, so
fun.
when you do the kayaking, don't you? Isn't just one person in it at a time?
You can have a 1 or a 2. So I was in it with my sister, and I was doing the anchor. Yeah, and the kids were doing it. So I mean, I like doing stuff like that where I don't feel like I'm exercising.
Sure, and that's
like
certainly a better way to say more dynamic.
Yeah, I enjoy that more.
Don't you have to put your whole legs and stuff?
You do.
I get so claustrophobic. I feel like I was going to fall off. No, but I feel like I was going to tip over. I would. I'm like, oh, no. I have to move.
Take one step at a time, look on the horizon.
It's actually not scary at all.
Yeah.
I went whitewater rapid before rapiding. Oh, that, my God.
Yeah,
that's scary. Oh, my goodness. My husband got thrown off.
Oh, no.
That was good. You guys did.
He did. I was holding on my feet. My toes were gripping and everything. And they finally finally came and got it. And he said, "You were just going to let me stay out there?" I'm like, "Yeah, somebody has to tell the story." I wasn't thinking about jumping in that water. Bye. Did you pay your insurance?
Exactly. Somebody to get a script written. So.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
love it. Our show will end with this more funny note, but just in terms of the title, it's Music and Medicine. That's what it's called. When you hear those words, because your life in many ways has been emblematic of that, starting off in music, and you're still doing music now, if I recall. What does that mean to you, music and medicine?
Music is good for the soul, and anything good for the soul is going to help you heal. It's going to be good for the whole body. It's good for the mind. It's good for the body. I dance. I love dancing. I love music. Music can take you to different places. So for me, when I'm in a mood, I can just turn on something that it will uplift my mood. Or if I just want to be somber, I'll just put on something and just relax. It's all therapeutic. I think music is therapeutic. There are, different frequencies in music. And I think it's good for us. We all exist on different vibrations and frequencies, and I think it's good for us. I think it's good for our bodies to enjoy that. We need things to help us relax and decompress, and I think music is perfect for that.
Absolutely. Some young lady is watching this, and she may be 14 too, and come from a place like Cambridge, Massachusetts, admittedly, and have these dreams of being able to, at least on the surface, have a seamless transition from dancing all the way to writing, acting, producing, and directing. What advice might you give her?
I would say to listen to yourself, trust yourself. There will be many, many, many voices that are trying to make you go this way and that way. Hold on to what's true to you and what brings you joy, what sparks joy for you. Keep moving in those directions. Do something every day. Yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, you will have some bad days and some negative thoughts that go through your mind. Just write your vision down. That's a good thing too. Write it down so you can see it. Look at it every day and try to take steps towards it every day. Because you just never know what God has for you. You have an idea, but what He has for you is so much bigger. So just start going. Take a step in faith, and then the next thing will come. The next step of direction where you should go will come. Just keep moving in faith.
Yes, absolutely. You've heard it here from Shireen Crutchfield herself. Really just an amazing journey, starting off at Soul Train at the age of 14 and continuing now in the business, writing, directing, producing, creating music still, and acting. That really, this is a journey of 1,000 steps, and that most importantly, having that confidence within yourself to continue to move forward despite the storms, despite the negative naysayers, is really as important. But I love the advice that she gives about making it visual, and Ms. Bradley spoke to that too, writing these things down, having a vision board, having goals, having steps day by day that you're going to commit to and try to get through, as opposed to worrying about the future, can be critical to your success. It's been such a pleasure, such a delight, and you're so warm in your presence. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I look forward to working with you one day.
Yes. Good to see you again.
Auntie.
That's right.
Almost mama.
Almost, yeah.
That's okay. You never.
As long as you want.
I put on my gray wig.
Work.
You know, work is work.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you.